the family that adopted you, or your family, like, had they been specifically homophobic or transphobic to you, or were you just kind of assuming that they wouldn't, be accepting?
I think for any parent going through what my parents went through, it's a tough situation. I mean, you're losing one child and gaining another. So you have to really take into consideration it's a transition for everybody. But my parents were very supportive. I grew up with a military family background. So obviously it took my dad some time.
Biker gang and military, but like the two most masculine sides of life you could possibly imagine.
This is shit I'm talking about, bro. She's riding around with Barbie strapped to her bike at 12 fucking years old. I'm over here like my dad's like, get the pipes, we're gonna go crack a fucking head open. You know what I mean? Like two fucking opposites here, but that's why I'm attracted.
Neighborhoods, like, and I was bad growing up because I just didn't know what I had for myself in the future. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know how to get there. And I came across these YouTube videos probably about when I was, 11 or 12. That was when my dad's desktop computer, he had his office, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching I just saw Willem and all these drag performers at first, and I knew that was along the lines of who I wanted to be, but I was I'm woman, I'm doing my own thing. I respect them as, they're women artists and everything, and that's amazing. But I was deep down in my heart, I sit when I pee, I, use toilet paper, I use...
Personally, I feel like sitting down to pee is a little bit more hygienic, a little bit more comfortable. I kind of feel like I get more urine out of my body when I'm sitting.
And that's the thing is I just, from a young age, I knew what I wanted, and I just had all of these feminine attributes, and that's what men are attracted to with myself, is the feminine attributes I bring, and, my qualities, not just with being trans, but supporting my man, standing by him no matter what. Isn't that what a girlfriend's supposed to do?
This girl does everything a woman is supposed to do, man. Everything. I come home to food. Now, this is not what a woman's supposed to do. This is just what my woman wants to do. I come home to food, the place clean, organized, bed made, ready to go. Always by my side.
Ready to get disheveled again.
When I was fighting through my drug addiction, man, when I literally would have a pistol in my mouth almost every other day, right? I would cock it back and stick it in my fucking face, in my mouth, and I would sit next to her and I'd hit the gun, hoping the gun would go off because I didn't want to live,
And on top of that, I'm trying to combat my social media progress.
OnlyFans.
And it's I'm living in a life that's trying to be portrayed as, oh, we're doing amazing and we're going through this and that. And I think people really don't know what anybody goes through. And that's what we're speaking on, is we go through real shit just like anybody else, and we're real people. And, why hate on us when we're just trying to be a better person?
At what age did you start fully presenting as a woman?
12 years old.
12, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I knew my parents took it on, and, I didn't get my hormone treatment until I was about 17, but I went through intense therapy for about 4.5 years.
Was that your parents' idea, or is that just mandated if you want to transition in the future?
That was my idea.
Okay.
I gave them a full presentation, and, it was hard for them to understand.
Would you say that they were open-minded, generally speaking?
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever see the show Euphoria?
Oh, yeah.
That fucking show, bro. It's a spitting image of both of our lives, bro.
Really?
Straight, almost every scene.
So many points that we can, understand and relate to.
I feel like that show, the undercover purpose of that show is to make the average viewer fall in love with a trans character in a TV show, because I feel like the character, what's the character's name?
Hunter Schafer.
Hunter, yes. So just such an endearing character that I felt like
amazing.
If you are somebody who doesn't with trans people, it would be hard to watch the entirety of that show without gaining some degree of empathy and understanding.
She went through so many hardships in that show as Jules, and watching that, I was, you know, I was gagged. I was like, holy shit, like this is, I can relate to
it felt
this.
that close to your experience,
like
really.
I was like, it was touching.
I watched that show in rehab.
It was emotional.
When I was,
you know, it was very
separated
emotional.
from her. I saw that show in rehab, man. Brought me. I was hysterically crying, bro.
I was like, watch Euphoria.
Like, damn, my girl went through it.
I'm
like, you went through something like that? She's like, you know, explain the story. I'm like,
yeah, men hiding in a hotel, like everything.
That show, everybody in the show is so famous now that it almost feels like we're not going to get the next season, or it's going to be far
I'm
away.
hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, man, personally, I was trying to get in touch with who runs the show because I know my girl.
It's not the same without Angus. You know,
right, and now he's dead. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, like man, rest in peace.
The Barbie girl quit, which she wasn't really doing shit anyway, but she's gone.
What was the homie's name that died? The white boy?
Angus Cloud.
Rest in peace to him, man. You know, he was a solid. I mean, such a good actor, man. Really, he had some. He had a heart.
Jacob Elordi. Zendaya, queen.
Yeah, she's a queen.
Yeah.
But at what age did you meet him?
I met him. I'm 26. I met him when I was 24.
We've been together almost 2 years now.
Yeah. 24 and a half.
So you met at 24, so you're still pretty young. Like, had you had a bunch of relationships prior to him, or what was that?
I had, I would say, like 2 or 3 real relationships and like 20,000 situationships. You know, of men just like playing games.
Promising her the world.
Promising a whole life. And where is it? Like, you know, I'll make my own life.
Right.
But, you know, my boyfriend before Jesse would never show me off. He never believed in my vision for myself as just an independent woman. And, you know, I had everything. I was given everything. I was given keys to a Maybach. I was given, you know, boat rides out in the Hamptons. I was doing everything. But
then you still felt like to a degree they were ashamed or didn't want to be public?
Absolutely. He would never post me. Not that it mattered.
Lock
but like,
her in the house.
Yeah, he would keep me there for about 2 years. I was stuck in that relationship because I felt trapped and I just thought that I wouldn't get any better. Not that that's a, you know, thing, but I wanted to feel safe. Like, you know, that's who I am. I just wanted to feel safe in somebody, and he would, you know, we went through a lot of abusive stuff, but he would tell me he loved me, and it was really confusing for me. And that was my first taste of like real love after my boyfriend, he passed away from an overdose. Before
another guy that were before him.
Another one before him.
Found him.
I found him in my apartment up in New York. And people prepare you for a lot in life. Nothing like that. Yeah. That changes you.
That's brutal.
So, you know, with that being said, that kind of relates to the addiction, but I'll get into that. But yeah, they never showed me off. They never wanted me to go anywhere with them, or I would ask to go to like, you know, dinners and parties and stuff, but they just, they kept me there and just look good for when you get home, for when they get home. To just be used, and you just have to, you know, accept it. But I was stupid at the time. Like I don't have sympathy for myself in a way because I kind of kept myself there because I didn't know any better.